What's going on, everybody? It's David Palmer, the Leo King, and welcome to my show, Uncut Astrology, where I take off the mask and go deep behind the veil and give you this week's astrological forecast for the week of July 26th through August the 1st of 2017. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Leo King app. And don't be afraid to say rabbit rabbit on August 1st. It always brings out a lot of good luck. Well, we have quite the energy, and I'm going to be real upfront with everybody here. Because it's uncut and we're raw, this week, next week, and the week after are going to be gnarly. We are in eclipse season. We got a lunar eclipse coming up on the other side of this week. And I think that a lot of this is for people to start to get prepared for some major changes in their life. This week is a week where the Sun and Mars are conjuncting. This is getting to the point. Mars rules the point. It rules the nouns. It rules the names. It rules what we're doing. And with this all in Leo, what are we doing with our heart? What are we doing with our soul's happiness? Also, this is at the same time that we have some very powerful aspects happening with Mercury that has now entered into Virgo in shadow period. Meaning we are really starting to rethink a lot of the structure of our life, our day-to-day routine, how our life is going to look. The other part, we also are going to have a quarter square of the moon in Scorpio this week, really looking at what's going to be dead and what's going to become alive and what's going to stay with us and what is not going to stay with us in our life. This is a major yes or no week, black or white, no gray. When you have a Sun and Mars in Leo and a big, powerful square to the moon in Scorpio, that's what's going to happen. On top of it, Uranus is starting to stop. Uranus goes retrograde on August 3rd when we come back next week. So that means Uranus is almost dead stopped. These are last minute decisions that are coming in of how high you're going to ascend. Now, because the Sun is on Mars, because we're having also this week Jupiter starting to square Pluto all through next week and all through these eclipses, these are going to be major expansions with major deaths and major endings in people's lives. So this is a very important week because with the last week of Uranus going forward, these are the last things to kind of throw into your life's bag of, I want to go higher here, or I want to make this, and this is who I want to be. This is Uranus and Aries. This is how I want to free myself, and this is how I want to be. And with the Sun on top of Mars, this is kind of right before the shit hits the fan with the eclipses. It's going to be all over the place. So it's like people are at this kind of threshold where major decisions are coming, and it's getting very intense from the build-up into the weekend. Now, when we come into the end of the week, when we come into August 1st and July 31st, a lot of it is like, okay, the positive or the search for positive of where is this all going now. I think that there's going to be some major clashes this week of happiness and unhappiness and whether you feel like you're really feeling invigorated in things or not. This is a lot of energy to take on for people. I will be very honest on that front. This is also the moon going to conjunct Jupiter and square Pluto this week in Libra. So there's a lot to weigh out before making the decisions. And yes, it could feel a little bit crazy, but at the same time, this is about your life, your happiness. And now that the Sun has passed Mars, you now have to go on the path that God has set you in front of. Mars has been leading the way since the retrograde that was a couple years ago, or a year ago in 2016, and you've been taking your life the way that you think you should go. But now God's going to show a new way. It's going to show a new way. It's going to show a new heart. It's going to show you where you're happier. And it's a lot about going in that direction now. And it's a lot about taking that direction and journey. Venus is also finishing in Gemini, and it's squaring Chiron. So this is very difficult relationship-wise. Also, it's Venus sextile Uranus. So you never know what's going to happen in a relationship. It could look like it's going one way and then turn out to do another thing on you, or a flip-flop. But with Chiron on the square, there's going to be past elements or some things that just cannot be, I don't want to say fixed, but Chiron tries to heal that can't be healed. Some wounds just can't be healed. Some things can't be figured out. Sometimes you have to throw and surrender things to spirit that you just don't understand. This is Venus finishing in Gemini. And then throughout the weekend, we got Venus coming into Cancer where it will chill out for a little bit and go, okay, we need to make ourselves feel good. We need to learn to take care of ourselves. We need relationships that understand our feelings more. So there's going to be a lot of feelings relationship-wise and crazy conversations and crazy aspects in relationships, also with the moon in Libra, also it conjuncting Jupiter, also while it's squaring Pluto. It's going to be gnarly and intense. And this is preparing you for how the eclipses are about to change your life. You will not forget August of 2017. Let me tell you, you will not forget it. It will be a stamp that will be ingrained in you for your whole life. So this is the week that you're getting prepared for the tattoo. This is the week that you're getting prepared for the imprint and making your last adjustments, making your last big changes, and getting the life that you truly want to make sure that it is before we step in and stamp this eclipse if you want to stay going through this for the next 6 months or not. I'm going to leave it with you there, folks. I'm sending you the best. Mercury's coming in a position to where, it's trying to really figure out a lot of things, but you got to go with what your heart says. And you know what? Only you know that deep inside. Not going to be the easiest week. I'm going to be honest. I'm praying for you all. But there's an extreme positive on the other side. However it happens, there's a lot of unpredictability. And I'll be honest with you. Be prepared for next week and the week that follows and the 3 weeks that follow for these huge life-changing events that are going to happen that actually start this week. Thanks so much for all your support. Make sure that you get my August webinar if you want to find out more. And if you want to join me in November for my awesome event, it's going to be at the LAX Hilton. It's all about rising through the darkness. It's my next event, next retreat, live. I'm going to be there for people and give people the last opportunity to make the big changes in their lives if they don't make it during this eclipse cycle, because a lot of people are going to not have the courage to make it through here, and it'll be very hard. There's a last-ditch effort by the universe to help people get to the side of the water or the fence that they need to get on, and I'm going to be there in November to help people for that. LeoKingEvents.com to do it in person. I'll see you guys next week for the next Uncut. Sorry that this one's so real, but it's where we're at. Peace.